This here is my golf round at Yas Links Abu Dhabi. Now Yas Links here, it's set to host the Abu Dhabi HSBC Championships. That is the start of the European Tour event, the European Tour DP World Tour. Now starting the first hole here, it's a straightforward par 4, very short. I use a driver and an iron to get in to the hole. A good warm-up hole because it's again very short and straight. A green regulation here, and I managed to get a 2-putt to save the par. I hit my drive 240 yards and hit a pitching wedge into the hole. The wind was slightly against. Now the next hole is a par 5, again straightforward. It looks very tight from the tee shot, however, if you play it straight, it does open up. My second shot here as well. Yeah, so my second shot I hit a hybrid to the green. I aimed at the green. Now as you can see from over here, I went a slight bit left, but that's okay, and because it opens up again. That is the beauty of Yas. Yas Links looks very tight from TV or from our view. However, it is an illusion. If you bounce in the right place, you are lucky and you can get a good placement to the pin like I did there, and I managed to get the birdie in the par 5. Our second hole is a par 4. It's curved slightly to the left. Now if you go left, you might get a shorter attack at the green. However, if you go right, you get a better look at the green. I opted to go right over here and use a 7-iron to go into the pin. If you went left, for example, I would have maybe used a pitching wedge or 9-iron. However, that is not worth it because it's easier to land it short and roll it on the green. I managed to get a 2-putt over here, a very solid hole. The next hole is a par 3. It's been shortened slightly, so I used a 7-iron onto the green. It plays around 150 yards from here. I played to the middle of the green and had a 2-putt. As you can see in the background, there is my brother who's about to putt, and there are 2 workers. They're working on the green to make it in good shape for the European Tour event. The next is a par 4, again, very straight. It's 388 yards and I use a driver to go over the hill because after that it opens up to the fairway. As you can see, it opens up to the left and it's a perfect shot. I used a sand wedge to go in. Caught it a bit heavy, so I had to leave it a bit short, and then I had a 2-putt over here. Solid 2-putt for off the green. The next hole, again, another par 4. This one I hooked slightly to the left, I pulled it slightly, but it's a straight par 4 and it's very easy to recover. Luckily I had a good lie over here in the wasteland area and I used a 6-iron to go for the green. However, this went slightly left again, so I'm left in the bunker. If I landed on the green, it might have rolled on to pin high. However, I managed to get a good recovery from the bunker. And this putt is tricky because it's downhill and it curves a lot. Yas Links does that a lot as well. The putts are tricky, especially from a short distance. Short distance putts, they curve a lot, especially from that, but I managed to get it in the hole and save it for par.
Nice.
Another par 5 here. This par 5 is very short. It's only around 500 yards and the wind is helping on this hole. So I hit a perfect shot to the fairway, just slightly left of it. And I used a hybrid here because even though my hybrid may not reach that far in a normal situation, the hill curves down. The hill goes downhill after that high hill over there, and so it's very easy to get on the green with the roll. That's what I take advantage of. And as you can see, I went a bit long here. I have an eagle chance, but unfortunately I just left it short. Tapped it in for a good birdie. Another par 3 over here. Now this one's tricky because the pin's tucked in their back near the bunker, and the bunker slopes down to the bunker after that. So my strategy here is to roll it onto the front of the green and use the slope for it to kick forward towards the pin. Some good views here. Now that's perfect in the middle of the green. As you can see, if I landed it perfectly on that hill, it would have rolled onto the bunker, so I played it safe and hit it short. I hit a putt over here, went slightly long. However, it's easier to get short uphill putts than downhill putts, especially if it's from the bunker. And and I managed to save it for par again. They're setting up the towers here, they use that for a TV, and it's only walking only today because they want to maintain the condition of the fairways and the grass so that usually we use buggy carts, but not today. Here, another good shot from me. It's a par 4, hole number 9. If you go to the left, it is not a good place to be because there's a lot of hills, you might get a bad lie, and there's a bunker, which is in play. So I aim to the right, it's a flatter area, and I get a closer shot to the green and the flag. The flag here is in the front. Usually it's in the middle or the back to make it harder, but it's in the front today. You can see the grandstand being made. I believe it's around 120 yards to the pin, and I use a pitching wedge to... It was a good shot, just slightly long of the pin, so I still have a chance at birdie over here. It's a fairly straight putt. It curves from right to left. Yeah, you can see the ball right now. The ball just went slightly long. It pitched right next to the flag, but it didn't get any spin. I putted it, but I think I kind of pulled that putt, so I didn't get a very good roll on it, and it just went left. However, I am happy for this tap-in par because it's one of the hardest holes of the golf course because of its length and bunkers are in play left and right. Moving on to the back 9 of hole number 10. This is a short, simple 375 yard par 4 that curves to the right side. Hit an okay drive here, 269 yards. Would have been better if I placed it more to the right so I'd end up in the fairway, but this is not a bad place. I have around 75 yards to the pin, but I overshot it just a bit because it did not have any spin from the rough. I believe that the back 9 is the more fun. I have a nice putt here, slightly downhill. Overall good read, and I am happy to miss it that way because if I were to hit it harder it would have gone past the hole and over the green. And then another par 5 here. This hole is 560 yards and this has to be the best drive of the day. I hit that drive around 302 yards, which is a monster drive. Ended up in the fairway, so it's perfect position. Now, as you can see from the back 9, it's much more, it's narrower than the front 9. It's the misses. If you go right and left, you will end up in a good shot here. Just drew too much to the left because of the wind going right to left. I ended up just short of the bunker in the rough. I have a tough chip over here. I have to land it short so that it rolls down the green. I have to hit it pretty high too so that it stops quickly. 4 or 5 meters left to the hole. I'm confident I can make this putt. I aimed too much to the left and I missed the birdie putt, but I'm happy with the par. Here we have hole number 12. It's an interesting hole because there are 2 levels on it. There's a plateau on the left side, which offers a better look at the green, but if you aim to the right, you get a shorter shot to the green. I opted to go in between, so if I land on the plateau, it can roll down the hill. If it rolls down the hill, I can get a bit more distance with my shot, and it's reflective of my shot. 293 yards, you can see the ball inside the green under repair area, grass under repair. The local rule states that you can drop it anywhere behind the markers. Dropped it right there where the lie is nice, and I have around 115 yards left to the pin. I landed it just on the plateau before the green and it rolled back down. It's a very common... Now chip here is very tough. The grass is very short and it's very hard to get under the ball. So I left it a bit short over there because if it went long it would have been a harder putt. I have a long putt here to save for my par and just missed it. But yeah, I managed to save it for my bogey. 1 under so far. Here we have the shortest par 3 in the course. It's around 117 yards. This is one of the best views of the golf course, I'd say. I'm using a gap wedge here and hit it nice and straight, center of the green, perfect positioning. What I believe Yas Links is, compared to other courses in Abu Dhabi, is the hills. The hills are a unique part of links golf, and I think Yas Links has replicated it well. You can see with all the hills on the slopes on the green, it's a very tough. Hit it a bit long here, so yeah, I misread the putt. As you can see in the view in the background, there's the Ferrari World and the Yas Marina Circuit. It's a great ambience to play on the golf course. Sometimes during the F1 season, you can hear the F1 cars driving in their practice. Yeah, I have a nice short putt to save for my par. This is another par 4. It's rated at 329 yards, played off the back. Now, this is a tough hole. The pin is tucked in the middle of the green. There's a dip after the hill, and so you have to aim a bit right of the hole in order to get a good look at the green. If you're left of the hole, then you're obstructed by a hill. It's hard to know where to land the ball. Unfortunately, here I faded the ball a bit too much. I ended up in the bunker just right of the hill, as you can see from the tee shot. Yeah, and from the pin position there, it's really tucked in the back, in between the slopes. I'd hit this one okay, it just went a bit long, that's all. I landed in the plateau and yeah, I didn't get any spin and rolled off the back. Had a very good chip here, hit the pin, unfortunately didn't go in. Yeah, but I'd left myself a good short putt in. I made that putt to save for my par. This is a handicap index 1 of the longest par 4s of the golf course. I left it right over here. This one I had a tough lie. I hit a 5-iron over there, it went 171 yards. I aimed too much to the right to compensate for the slope and I ended up to the right of the green. I have a chip from the rough here. It's a very tough chip from over here because not much green to work with, but I managed to land it just perfectly and roll it right next to the pin. Just perfect, just a perfect shot. Had around 1.5 meters to the hole. It's pretty straight, downhill in the end, curving from right to left, and I managed to putt it in. Perfect par. I'd take it any day on this par 4. And then on the 16th, it's a 408 yard par 4. Curves to the left, as you can see, over the water. The best place to aim here is in between the Ferrari logo and the roller coaster over there. That's where you can get the most distance cut off from the dog leg, if you know what I mean, and if you catch the slope it can go pretty far. The sun's just about to set over here, getting really dark. The weather is nice during that day, so I wasn't complaining. This shot over here is 120 yards to the pin. It's headwind unfortunately, so I tried to aim to the right for the slope to kick into the hole. However, I left it a bit short and it ended up short of the green. However, it's an easy putt. It's a good miss because I have a easy putt to the hole. It's 188 yards. I used a 5-iron over here. The wind was really blowing during this time, so I left it a bit short. This is the walk up to the green. You have to go around the water. They're just paving the path here. The sand that wasn't there before used to be bushes. That is for a pathway for the pros. They're gonna go through that path in the Abu Dhabi HSBC Championship. As you can see, I got on the green, but I have a tough putt here, up here, right to left, and it just left it short. Very bad mistake. I was afraid of the slope downhill on the other side and just missed my second putt, and yeah, very bad putts over there. Now it looks very bright on the camera phone, but it was actually extremely dark. Tracker over here couldn't pick up the ball. It was extremely dark during that time. Now this par 5, it's a long par 5, and the thing is it curves to the left. I hit my driver hybrid hardbit over here because the wind was really pushing it back. It was really hard to get a good shot because of the wind. As you can see, no sun available, just the brightness in the horizon. Tried to play as quick as I can. Now I hit a bunker over there in the right hand side. Then made it to this one. I missed the putt. I left it for bogey in the end. That was not a very optimal hole, but it is hard to play in the dark. You can't see where the ball is and you can't adjust, and you can't see the slope of the green. So yeah, I'd say that is a good 1 over round in Yas Links.